What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Hope that everything is going fantastic in your life. Hey, I just barely finished a 3-day event that I got to teach the majority of, and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I really enjoy it. I love teaching. I love stage presenting. I did a lot of stage stuff growing up, and I really like it. I enjoy. You know, there's certainly a rush to it. The way it started out as a day number one, we went from 9 to 5. It was kind of normal. Day number 2, though, we started about 8:30 in the morning, and then we went to about 1 a.m., about midnight, 1 a.m., somewhere around there, and which is crazy. And it's funny, you know, we don't like take like. There's no like breaks. You know what I mean? There's no like bathroom breaks. There's no like, hey, go get a snack, everybody. It's literally straight through the entire time. And then the third day, similar to the first one, it's about 9 to 5. And by the end of it, everyone's just dead. But it's a ton of fun. I got to share the stage with Russell Brunson, and sometimes literally, which is awesome. He and I would do some tag teaming back and forth on some different topics and such, and it was a lot of fun. You know, I really enjoyed it. It's for what's called the 2 Comma Club coaching program, and I am one of the coaches for it. 2 commas meaning $1 million, which is awesome. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoy that setting. I enjoy I think what I like most about it is the high immersion that comes with those kinds of events. And anyway, that's kind of the reason why I wasn't able to podcast so much this last week, because I have been so it's intense. It takes me a solid a day or two just to recover from that. It's very intense just for the listener, let alone if you're the actual speaker in it for the majority of the time. But the first day, Russell and I kind of went back and forth. The second day, it was mostly me. I went from 9 a.m. till about 9 p.m. I was on about 12 straight hours, and then Russell came in and picked up for another session. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. You know what's funny about the whole thing too is that we spent a lot of time helping people figure out what they're selling and how to sell it. That's like the whole goal of the 0 to 7 figure area. Okay, what are you selling and how do you sell it? And what we're trying to help people figure out is where their product can exist without really any other competition. Okay, it's a hard area to hit. That's not an easy thing to do, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to find the reddest, bloodiest red ocean, right, where there's the most competition, there's the most people in there who are just spending ferociously, right, wherever the rabid buyers are, right, irrational purchasers, right. You're trying to find those people, and then you're trying to take one step out of that and create a new niche that you can then target that red ocean to come buy it from you. Does that make sense? So here's what's interesting about that with MLM World, right? With the MLM World, everyone is inside this super red ocean, right? Everyone is they're selling the exact same thing in the exact same way. Usually, they're selling the exact same products, the same services. They're even using the same scripts, the same. Hey, let me 3-way in you this guy, and he's going to teach us about, how to make a whole bunch of money. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing over and over and over and over again. And so, what's really interesting is to take the same formulas that we use, which is there's a lot of them, and try and in the MLM space, figure out a new, what am I selling and how does it sell? A new what and how. Okay? So you think through what actually gets people excited, what actually gets people attracted into what it is that you're actually doing, and think to yourself, okay, what do I sell? What do I sell? And what do I sell that's new, that's different, that is different than what other people have been teaching and selling and doing inside the MLM space? Right? How can I be completely different than my upline? How can I be completely different than those I will recruit? Right? How can I solve problems for those I will recruit? Does that make sense? When you do it that way, and that's very similar to what we do, and there's a whole bunch of formulas we follow, and there's a whole bunch of cool steps we go through to help that person very clearly figure out, hey, here is your new niche. Here is exactly how you do it. And if you can start asking those questions inside the MLM space, it's amazing how fast you cut away from everybody else. I know this is a very old number, but years ago, I went and I looked at a stat online that said that there's over 10 million MLMers in America alone. I know that's an old stat. It's probably a very small number now, but let alone 10 million people. And they're almost all selling the exact same thing. And it may not be that they're all selling the same thing, right? Because I know there's lots of MLMs, there's people selling this, people selling that, whatever it might be. But the how is the exact same. Right? How they do it is the same way. It's the same thing all the time. Look, go get friends and family. Someone called it the NFL, the no friends left zone. I'd never heard that before. But start thinking through that. And some of the easiest ways to do it is to start looking. I just want to give you guys like 2 or 3 steps here on how to actually find a new niche inside of your MLM opportunity. Okay. And here's one of the easiest ways to do it. Number one, I want you to know that it is not, you don't need to go be creative first. And now, usually whenever I say, hey, go create a new niche, it makes sense that you would run off and you would start creating a new niche, meaning you would be creative and start thinking through like, okay, what can I create? What can I make? What can I sell that's totally different than anything else in the marketplace? Right? And I understand that. I totally get that. Like it's, but what I'm begging you to do is to not actually be creative on the first step. It's a little bit counterintuitive. Okay, I'm telling you, you got to be creative second. The first thing you got to do, rather than be creative, the first thing you got to go do is find the people who are being ultra successful inside your MLM. Okay, and I know I've gone through a little bit of these steps prior to, I think in a previous episode, but pay close attention to this though, because anyway, if you go find who is actually killing it inside your MLM, right? Now let's be real here. If they're your upline, they are your competitors. Does that make sense? Your downline is your competitors, right? Your ClickFunnels, or your I almost said ClickFunnels. I did say ClickFunnels. Your MLM HQ, right? That's your competition. Whoever it is who's actually selling that same product, they are your competition. And so while they might be helping you, while they might be saying, hey, when you succeed, I succeed, that kind of thing, like that's true, but they're still your competition, right? Someone inside that MLM that you are in right now, whether or not you're in one, is killing it. What are they doing? What's so different about what they're doing? Did they really just go talk to friends and family? Or is there another method that they're using to actually recruit people? Another method they're using to attract people to them? Okay? Get really familiar and friendly with those people. Figure out what exactly it is they're doing. Maybe the script is a little bit different than what the corporate teaches, right? Maybe they offer something in addition when somebody joins their downline. Maybe they figure out, maybe they gave a plan. Maybe they gave some kind of a guide. What is it that they are actually selling? What is it they're actually doing? Because I doubt it's just whatever the run-of-the-mill script is that your upline's teaching. I doubt that very much. Most of the time, that's not what happens. Most of the time, that they're not out doing the friends and family hotel meetings and home meetings and stuff and parties and stuff like that. Usually, that's not how it happens. Usually, they're not the ones taking the selfies in the gym saying, oh, I've got my thing and I'm working from home today in my living room. Like, that's not, that's typically not what the big guys are actually doing, right? So why would you do it? Stop modeling failure. You know what I mean? I had to realize that for myself too. The first time I joined an MLM was about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. And I realized that I was modeling failure. I realized that I was modeling, but I was expecting success. I was expecting something different out of it, but I was literally modeling failure. I was going around and I was saying, hey, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do it big, loud, and proud. I'm going to recruit everybody. I literally walked down Main Street and I started recruiting people. And one of the issues that caused is that it ticked a lot of people off. You know, and there was no one I was really modeling that was uber successful. The people that I was modeling in it, they were not, it was certainly not passive income like everyone toted around. You know what I mean? So anyway, what I'm telling you to do is, number one, go find out what people in your MLM are actually doing to be successful, okay? What are they actually selling? And then number two, how are they selling it? Ask, what are you selling? How are you selling it? If you can figure those two things out, and what's cool is that you know that someone in your upline is killing it. So go model them. Go figure out what it is. If you figure out what people are selling and how they're selling it, that's like step one. Okay, that's step one. Step two, in my opinion, is the more fun part. Step two is where you be creative. Now that you know what someone is selling and you know how they're actually selling it, what script are they using, where are they getting the traffic from, whether it's online or offline or whatever it is, how are they getting eyeballs, right? Now that you know what they're selling and how they're selling it, the second thing is for you to be creative, okay? Not first. And what you do, this is actually my favorite part of it. What I do is I actually use, it's called a stack slide. And it is a way to model and create new offers out of places that are super competitive. This is one of the easiest ways to create a new offer from something that is super competitive, really red ocean, right? Where it sucks to be in, where it's when you don't have an offer, when you're not using a stack slide, it is a race to the bottom. Okay, it's whoever is willing to take the smallest margin. You're literally competing on price. That's it, because there's nothing different. When you have no offer, you have no other option but to compete on price. And that's what ends up happening inside super red oceans like that. And you've probably felt a little bit of that inside whatever MLM you're a part of, right? And so what I do is I look at my MLM and I look at what, the one I'm a part of, and I look at all the pieces and I look at all the places people are selling in, look at the guys who are killing it. What are they selling? How are they selling it? And I start using what's called a stack slide. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go get the book Expert Secrets. Go to expertsecrets.com. They're not paying me. There's no endorsement. It's not an affiliate link. But it's $7. And that book's fantastic. And what it'll do is it'll teach you how to create a new offer inside of your current MLM. Okay? It'll create an inside of MLM in general. Okay? And what's cool about it is that when you create the stack slide, so it goes kind of like this. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without it being too like techno-babbly, you know what I mean? Anyway, but these are the pieces that I go through with people. So maybe I won't go through this whole thing with you right here. But anyways, the whole thing has to do with false beliefs. When you start looking at the industry and you start looking at what people are actually selling and buying and what they're doing, there starts to be some false beliefs about what it is that you're selling, right? Whether it's about the product or the opportunity, whatever those reasons are. So I used to be a door-to-door salesman, right? I was a door-to-door salesman, and I went around, and for two summers actually, I was knocking doors. And what was funny about it is it was always the same. I was actually a telemarketer too, and I was good at these jobs. And one of the reasons why I was good at the job is because what I learned, what I realized was that honestly, about 2 or 3 weeks in, I started realizing that I had heard every single objection that I probably was ever going to hear. Okay, it was like the same 5 things. Like when I was selling pest control, it was like, and this is super, super, super like MLM, just so you guys know, right? And when I was knocking doors, I say, hey, let's get you taken care of or whatever. And one of the objections I would always hear is, oh, let me talk to my spouse, right? How many times do you hear that in MLM? Oh, let me see if... let me talk to that neighbor first you said you talked to. Oh, let me check you guys out. Oh, is the pest control safe? Oh, is it, you know what I mean? Is whatever the immediate objections were, what I started doing is, I could write all those things out. And I knew what each one of those objections were. I also knew what my counter was for each one of those. Okay, if you don't know what the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 objections are to your MLM, both the product and the opportunity, my guess is that you've not tried to sell it enough, right? If you don't know what those things are. So what we do then is we look through each one of those objections and we try to figure out what the top 3 objections are, right? We try to, what we're looking for is the top false beliefs. Right? Okay, in order for me to come up with that objection, what must I be believing in order to say what I just did? You know what I mean? And when we come up with those false beliefs, that's what we craft the whole message around. That's what we craft the whole sales message, the whole stack, the whole offer, the new opportunity, the new niche. And what it does is it lets us create a new niche out of a super red ocean. And if you've not done that kind of thing, and I know I'm kind of going deep through it, people spend 3 days with us, it's paying $15,000 a piece to come sit. We had 60 people in the last one. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, if you've not figured out what those false beliefs actually are, and you're struggling to sell your MLM, I would bet that that's the reason why. And so with this whole what and how, what do you sell and how do you sell it? Understand that if you're not changing anything at all, that you really are selling into a red ocean with a red ocean opportunity, with a red ocean product, everything you do. And the only thing you can really do is compete on number 1, hustle, which is great, but number 2, price, which sucks. Okay? And you're going to become that guy. You're going to become that guy at family reunions. You're going to become that person that everybody runs from. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to say this whole episode, is that when you start thinking through your MLM, you start thinking through what it is that you're doing. I would go get the book Expert Secrets. I think I've talked about that before in here. But if you go get that book, it'll teach you how to create a new opportunity out of any really red ocean. Doesn't matter which industry you're in. And just apply it to MLM and start thinking through, what is it that I actually sell? How am I selling this thing? How are the top guys actually doing it? And I bet that a lot of them are not out doing home meetings and hotel meetings. And the ones that are telling you to do that, they're probably just teaching the downline to do it because it's a great lead gen for them. You know what I mean? And that's not to down them. The strategy works. That's not to say that it's bad. The strategy works. But if you really want to join those top people, you're not going to home party your meeting probably your way to riches. It's not to say you can't, but oh my gosh, that is such a long road. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And I hope that you understand that if you can start to take your MLM and turn it into what looks like a brand new opportunity, right? Based on the things that you're adding with it, based on the false beliefs that you're overcoming, based on you figuring out how to sell it differently, you're going to be worlds above everybody else, right? What are people selling who are actually successful with it? Is it just really the MLM, or are they offering something else with it? And how are they doing it? Is there a script that's different? Is there traffic that they're getting somewhere else? Are they online? Are they strictly offline? What is it they're really doing? And I would go model them. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's heavily what the event was about the last 3 days. The fourth day I was so tired. I slept 10 hours 2 nights in a row. It was ridiculous. Oh man, it's a huge amount of energy output. A lot of fun. I'm super animated as an individual. Sometimes I try to tone it back a little bit on this podcast, so you guys aren't like, whoa, this guy's a weirdie. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. We helped them create their whole slide presentations for a new sales message, which is great. An hour and a half presentation. We helped them create. It was a lot of fun. The whole thing was great, and really, really love it. We got another one coming up in January, which is super exciting. Anyway, go figure that out. And if you've not taken a look at that, it's going to be an eye-opening experience, okay? What I'm inviting you to do is to take off some of the blinders that your upline may have put on you that they probably didn't know they put on you. It's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's just part of the industry. This is marketing 101 that I'm trying to teach you. It's not so much the 3 phrases that make anyone want to join your downline. I don't believe that crap. I don't think that's true at all. What I'm telling you is let's actually pump new value into the marketplace by creating additional offers and new products and new things that are there that have never existed. That way you will literally be the only one selling what you are. Does that make sense? That is a new opportunity. I'm trying to help you create that. That's what you need to make. Anyway, I'm going to keep blabbering on, but I get really animated about this topic. So much so that I'll talk about it for 3 straight days to people. Anyway, hope you guys are doing great. I just wanted to pass that lesson along, and I hope you guys are crushing it. And go figure that out. I'm excited. And if you do figure that out, I would love to actually know what you've done that has changed the way you sell your MLM or the opportunity, whatever it is that you're in. Very, very exciting. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Would you like me to teach your own downline 5 simple MLM recruiting tips for free? If so, go download your free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com.